Hunter's Run by George R. Martin, Gardner Dozois, and Daniel Abraham. Read by Kerry Shale. Ramon Espejo awoke, floating in a sea of darkness. For a moment he was relaxed, drifting peacefully. Then his identity returned to him like an unwanted afterthought. There was no pleasure in recalling who he was. Without coming fully awake, he nonetheless felt the weight of his own being settling on his heart, despair and anger and constant gnawing worry. For some blissful time he had been no one, and now he was himself again. His first truly conscious thought was to deny the disappointment he felt at being. He was Ramon Espejo, working a prospecting contract out of Nuevo Janeiro. He was... The next thought simply failed him. He knew he was Ramon Espejo, but he did not know where he was, or how he had got there. Disturbed, he tried to open his eyes, and found that they were open already. Wherever he was, it was a lightless place. Or perhaps he was blind. That thought started a tiny spring of panic within him. There were stories of men who'd got drunk on cheap synthetic muscat and woke up blind. Had he done that? Had he lost that much control of himself? But his head didn't hurt, and his belly didn't burn. He tried to call out. He felt his mouth moving, but he heard nothing. Was he deaf, too? He tried to sit up, but could not. He lay back against nothing, floating again, his mind racing. Had he been in a mine cave-in? Perhaps a rockfall had pinned him down. He tried to concentrate on the feel of his body and decided that he could feel no weight or pressure. "You might not feel anything if your spinal cord has been cut," he thought with a flash of horror. But it could not be so. He could move, although when he tried to sit up, something stopped him, pulled his spine straight, pulled his arms and shoulders back down. It was like moving through syrup, only the syrup pushed back, holding him implacably in place. He could feel no moisture, no air, no breeze, no heat or cold, nor did he seem to be resting on anything solid. He was floating, trapped in darkness, caught fast in gooey syrup, totally submerged. But how was he breathing? He wasn't, he realized. He wasn't breathing. Panic shattered him like glass, and he clawed the enfolding nothingness, trying to pull his way up toward some imagined air. He tried to scream. Time stopped meaning anything, the struggle consuming him, so that he couldn't say how long it was before he fell back, exhausted. The syrup around him gently pulled him back, precisely as he had been. He should have been panting, his blood pounding in his ears, his heart hammering at his chest, but there was nothing, no breath, no heartbeat, no burning for air. He was dead. Dead, and floating on a vast sea that stretched to eternity. He was dead and in limbo, waiting for the day of judgment. This emptiness, trapped alone with only his own mind, was what had waited for him all his life. Numberless years stretched before him, with nothing but his own sins and failures to dwell upon. He had died, and his punishment was to be always and forever himself, under the implacable unseen eye of God. But how had he died? He began by picturing what was most familiar: Elena's room in Diego Town, the faucets in the sink already rusting, though humanity had hardly been on the planet for 20 years, the tiny scarlet skitterlings that scurried across the ceiling, the sharp smells of ice root and ganja, the sounds of transports grinding their way up into orbit. Slowly, the recent events of his life took shape. He had been in Diego Town for the blessing of the fleet. There had been a parade. Old Manuel Griego had been talking about his plans for when the Enye ships finally emerged. He flushed with the sudden, powerful recollection of the scent of Elena's body. But that was before... There had been a fight. He'd fought with
Sample complete. Ready to continue?